How are you feeling today?
I'm good. Like, this is one of the first days I've actually gotten up when I said I'm gonna get up. Like, I'll get up and I'll lay in bed. Like, I always get up super early, but I end up
Mhm.
laying in bed and then I miss the window, like the perfect window, um, when I can like work out without being bothered by like text and phone calls and emails. Because once I miss that window, my workout is like, okay, I'm gonna get interrupted several times. Yeah, but today's been good.
That's good.
Yeah, what about
I
you?
don't have that problem. First of all, my phone stays on, like, what is it? The reduce interruptions? Yeah, my phone stays on reduce interruptions. So unless my phone thinks it's an emergency and there's no vibrating, there's no anything. But it's just for me, I get really overwhelmed
Ah,
with notifications. And so it's easier for me, not necessarily easier for my emails, because I ignore the fuck out of those. But it is easier for me in general. Other than that, today I'm just really tired today. Had I w- worked out yesterday and then I went to the job that pays me.
the job that pays me.
That's the best way that I can describe it. It's the job that pays me until all of this starts to pay me.
Mhm, and it will, and it will. Now, are
I'm
you a
hoping.
coffee person?
I am a tea person.
Okay, you're a tea person. Yeah, I don't have anything right now.
I can't do coffee because of my anxiety and everything.
Oh, so is that decaffeinated? Is it you have like
Well, I can do like tea. The caffeine level in tea is a lot less than the caffeine level in coffee.
okay.
So I can do that. And then also tea, like black tea, green tea, all of those, they have, I think it's L-theanine in them. And that actually helps. So it gives you energy, but it also helps to relax your body.
Oh, I'm gonna try
Mhm.
some more tea. I'm gonna try some more tea. I've never been a tea person.
Tea's hard to, it was hard for me to get it. Actually, it wasn't that hard, but it was hard for me to get into. All right, all right. Other than that, let's get started. Hold on. Where is it? I do this every time and I lose it every time. I'm dead. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to another episode of the Basically Unbothered podcast. I literally almost said the other podcast name. I need to I have so many, but the Basically Unbothered podcast. Today we are joined by Donnie. Want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to be here.
I am. When you said yes, I think I like immediately told my mom. Yes, you said that'll be on my podcast. And she was like, I need you, because I'm so energetic. And you know my mom, she's kind of like so chill.
Chill, chill.
And she's like, I need you to just like be a little bit calmer. And I'm like, no,
There's no
no.
reason to be calm. Calm is overrated.
I Yeah, I agree with you. But do you wanna introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do and everything?
Sure, sure. So I'm Donnie. I'm Donnie LB on all my socials. I'm a content creator, influencer, filmmaker, writer, all these things. So you might see me on your timeline visiting restaurants or talking about a brand or something like that. But at heart, I'm a filmmaker and a writer. That's what I want to do. That's a space I'm trying to move more into. And yeah, Detroit native. I I love coffee and traveling and TV and just chilling. A super chill, cool guy who's pretty much an open book. That is me in a nutshell.
I didn't know that you were into like filmmaking and writing. I mean, obviously I've seen all the things you do for the church and I've seen all the things you did for your social. So it makes sense. Um, I think that's cool. That was actually my original life plan.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, it's still a life plan though. Doesn't have to change.
I mean, I I think that for me, writing books, podcasting, doing social media stuff is kind of my version as far as I want to go, me personally. Um, I started making and writing stuff when I was in the 5th grade, which
Wow.
is I know it's wild to think about how, like, determined I literally wrote my first I didn't finish it, but I wrote my first, like, screenplay that me and my best friend were gonna do in the 5th grade, and we were gonna have like, a scene where me and her were dancing or making a routine for a talent show, and, we choreographed-ish a dance to, "So Gone" by Monica.
Well,
Oh,
did you ever do it?
no, that was, like, my biggest problem back then was follow through. Um, I did a lot more smaller videos. I think one of my 6th grade or 7th grade projects, instead of doing what everybody else did, I asked my teacher if I could make a video instead of, like, writing a project or, making a poster board, and that was kinda, like, the first thing I finished. But, yeah, I ended up going to DSA for radio and television production, and
Never
then
knew
went
that.
to our Institute of Ohio for film production.
Never knew that either.
Yeah, and then I lived in California and went to, what was it? Fullerton Junior College for film until I had this amazing screenwriting teacher, and he was very honest about what it took to make it in Hollywood. And after he told me everything, I was like, "I'm good. Maybe this is."
Not for me.
Yeah. I do love getting back into creating. I guess the best way would be, like, being a social media creator.
Mhm.
I do love being able to do that because it gives me the ability to do my love without having it be the thing that I do. But that's really cool. What kind of, like, filmmaking do you wanna do?
All kinds. So we have like semi-similar story. Like I started writing really young too. I wanted to
Mhm,
be a first. I wanted to be a game designer, and then I wanted to be a comic artist. So I was write comics, draw comics. They all had like stories and stuff, and not like superhero comics, but more like comics you would see in like the Sunday paper. When there
mhm,
was, is there even a Sunday paper anymore? Like comics in it, but yeah. So I did all of that, and then I was an art student for a long time, like in middle school, high school, commercial art at Cass. And then I was gonna go to CCS, College for Creative Studies, CAS, but I got frustrated with my art. I felt like, oh, well, not getting any better. And I know that's what you go to college to do is to get better. But I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm frustrated. I want to run off to New York and actually be an actor. Oh, but ended up checking out the theater program at Oakland University and the theater program at Wayne State.
mhm,
Ended up at Wayne State, was a theater major for a year, washed out of that program in royal fashion. Um, and then ended up getting my degree in film from Wayne State. And similar story, like my favorite class, favorite professor was my very last class of college, which was screenwriting.
mhm.
Joel Silvers, rest in peace, amazing professor. And I fell in love with writing before that, but that cemented it for me. Um, I went on so long, I forgot what the original question was. I don't even
Oh, what do you
remember.
um, it was what do you wanna what kind of films do you wanna make? What do
Oh,
you
that's right. So, all kinds, but like romantic comedies, like romantic comedy and action, that's my wheelhouse.
Mhm,
Love writing that kind of stuff, love producing that kind of stuff. I shot a short film. It has to be, gosh, 5, 6, 7, maybe 6 or 7 years ago now. Never put it out. So it's really, yeah, I feel bad because it's kind of sitting there. It's finished, but as the filmmaker, I can see the issues with it.
mhm.
So I just didn't want to put it in front of people because normal people probably wouldn't see the issues, but
No, I trust me, I understand. I look on a YouTube, I'm never gonna tell people about. There are all my old projects, and I mean, there's some that are just so problematic, but I love them because of the meaning behind them,
Mhm.
and there's some that I look at and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so." I can't. It's so cringy. It's funny though, Julian, my brother, he went to CCS.
Nice.
He
Yeah, I think
went
I
to
remember that.
Yeah, he went to CCS for graphic design. Yeah. So my mom, I'd always tell people my mom birthed 2 artistic kids, and
And did.
her every day.
And did. Well, do you really wanna birth 2 doctors? No, no, let's get to art kids.
Yes, you're correct. I think he would have been elated if she birthed 2 doctors. But no, she was very much into my film career.
Mhm.
I think that it's still gonna take her a while. Oh, I've been looking for that. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor because 'cause I'm having a really tired day. That's why I'm normally all done up and I'm like, I don't have the energy. But I'm sitting on the floor and I just found, like, the cap of something I've been looking for a month.
Well, see, you were meant to sit on the floor and find
I
that
was
then.
I was I was meant to sit on the floor and find it. But no, my mom was really into my film career. She was not that into me doing psychology, and I
Mm.
think that I love psychology, and I think that psychology has helped me in so many ways, even as a writer. It's I'm able to think more critically about what my characters do and don't do and why they're doing it and what's the background, you know, things behind it. I don't know how she feels about my writing career yet. I think she's a little skeptical on it, mainly because it hasn't gone that far yet. Um, I think she'll feel better about it when it starts really profiting. 'Cause that's what my mom is very much about, like, what's making you money,
It's
and
all
with my
about the
film and
money,
stuff
money.
yeah. With my film and stuff, I got, like, a lot of awards, for the creations that I made in film. Um, I got accepted to, like there was a Courageous Crusaders, I got to interview jazz musicians, I've gotten to go to the NAACP Fight for Freedom Fund dinner. I
Awesome.
got to interview air pilot racers. So for her, she was like, "This is the thing." And right now, I think she's like, "I don't know how this writing thing is gonna work." And I'm like, "It just you just gotta, like, go with it, mom."
Right, go with it.
And as far as social media, I don't think she sees the benefit of that either yet. For her, it's just like, "You're just always recording something, and you're always on your phone," and I'm like, "It's a part of the bigger picture."
Yes.
I'm always, like, the bigger picture person, but, I think that's fascinating. Film is always gonna be a joy of mine.
Mhm.
It's just I'm happy that it gets to stay a joy. Because some things that you love, you don't need to monetize all the way.
Yeah, I believe that too. I do believe that. And, for me, it's all about your passion. Like, what are you passionate about? What makes you happy? What brings you joy?
Yeah,
Well, ultimately, ideally, what brings you joy and money, but, yeah, what are you passionate about? And, yeah, like you, I'm passionate about filmmaking. I love filmmaking. I think if I had to, like, desert island, you can do filmmaking or you can write, it would be writing.
yeah.
Um, but filmmaking is every single year, and I still watch the Oscars, and every time I watch the Oscars, it puts me in some kind of place where if if I'm not sitting there watching you with other people, I might just be bawling just because it's like it means so much.
I completely 100% understand. I cry more about people winning awards or achieving their dreams than I do about anything else in my life. Like,
Right?
show me a, like, clip of someone working their butt off and they're finally making it, and I will bawl my eyes out. My
Yeah.
thinks it's so weird. I
It's
did,
true, though.
it's, what was it? DYC, Detroit Youth Choir, when they were on
Mhm.
America's Got Talent, every time they got on the screen, I cried. I was like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "Imagine being 8 and actualizing your dreams." Like, what?
Yeah, and it's there forever. Your dream is accomplished. Your dream has been made. No matter what happens for the rest of your life, you have this. This moment
Yeah,
is real. This moment
and no one
happened.
can take that away from you. You can always be like, "That was me. We did," I think it's to me, it's so powerful, so I completely get it. I don't watch award shows because they piss me off.
Why do they piss you off?
Because the people that I want to win don't win.
Yeah, but they can't always win. They can't always win.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. They can't always win. Like we don't. You can't always get. You can't always get what you want. You can't like even with the Oscars, it's all like politics and money, and I get that part too. But there are
Mhm.
some dreams that just come true, and
I just need
that,
you to know if Ariana Grande don't win, revolting.
see, I'm so like when you said me like what we're gonna be talking. I'm so far behind on pop culture and everything that's going on in the media. I might not be able to participate in some of the stuff we're gonna be
Well, you know what? I feel like that's a great segue to get into
talking.
pop culture. Okay. So, I will give you backstories to all of this. Did you know that they are doing so we you have Harry Potter, right? All of the movies completed, bawled my eyes out to those as well. Um,
Right, those were good.
they decided, I think HBO decided that they wanted to make a TV series.
Yeah.
Commented on the TV series before only because they had announced some of the characters and they announced the person that was gonna play Snape, and the person who's gonna play Snape is a black man. And
Wow.
I'm all here for introducing diversity into characters, although people don't pay attention to this a lot, but the characters, whether they were like a little bit on the nose or their names were a little bit tongue in cheek,
Mhm.
there were a lot of diverse characters in Harry Potter.
There were, yeah.
Um, and it was nice to watch because it felt like as a kid, it was like, oh, this is a great representation of, what Britain probably looks like to, because they're England, London, whatever, they're also a kind of a melting pot of a lot of different
Mhm.
cultures and ethnicities because of the British rule and everything like that. I only learned about that recently because I was reading a book. But my frustration is that th- I've read all the Harry Potter books many, many times, and I feel like Snape's motives are gonna look a little weird now, and that they're gonna make it more racial.
I
Like,
hope they
Snape's
don't.
bullying when he was younger, he got bullied in school,
Yeah.
and it was not about race at all, it was just because he was a really weird, scrawny kid,
Mhm.
and now it's going to change to me, they might change the narrative of it, and then it's also gonna be weird for Snape to be really evil to Harry as, like, a black man, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but that being said, we got our first looks at John Lithgow, and he's playing Dumbledore.
I can
Um,
see I haven't looked at the pictures yet, but I can totally see that.
I'm gonna look them up too. I wasn't like, "Oh my gosh," but I'm very much still sold on the first Dumbledore before he passed away.
Yeah.
And the second one was kind of just like, "This is what I got."
This is I thought he did a great job. Like, I thought both of them did a great job.
He did. The problem, I guess, is that Dumbledore was more the first Dumbledore was more like Dumbledore, where he was a little bit more goofy, non-serious, very
Mhm.
childlike, and then the second Dumbledore was kind of a little bit more serious, which is fair because he had to define his Dumbledore differently.
Yeah.
But that part I didn't like. But the look is okay.
I hate
I
the look.
don't hate it. I'm not sure I love it.
I
But
mean,
it's
we'll
just
get
like the
used to it.
first look. Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't like it, but I also get the, like, it's gotta look different or whatever. Um,
Yeah, it just feels like his personality or his look isn't really giving the Dumbledore that you would expect.
but had we never seen Dumbledore in the movies, this might be what like, 'cause we're being swayed by what we know and love from on screen.
I would say that's partially true, yeah. I mean, Dumbledore was always described as, like, a little bit thinner, more elongated, but that is probably true. If we didn't see him if we didn't see all the old Dumbledores, maybe we'd be like, "Oh, that's right." I can confirm that because I was a huge Twilight fan, and they didn't pick the person that I wanted them to pick in casting,
For who?
um, but for, like, almost everybody.
Are you serious?
I will say my 2 favorite casted people are for sure gonna be Rosalie and Emmett, maybe Jasper. I think, Alice was okay, but definitely not Edward and Bella. And I remember following
Really?
I hate them as I hate the casting.
It
I
worked for me. I read the books and I watched the movie. It worked for me.
you know, the funny thing is that it worked for me when I watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Adult me is like, "Oh, no."
Well, maybe it's just 'cause you like something different now, maybe. I don't know. Because for me, like, it worked. Like, I see Edward as, that I see him, yeah, as what's his
Yeah,
name?
Robert
Robert
Patterson.
Pattinson. It worked for me, and that's, like, really the first time I've ever seen Robert Pattinson, and then, and Kristen Stewart. Um, and I feel like Kristen Stewart got so much hate for her role as Bella too. Um,
It's
she's supposed to be awkward and,
well, she was supposed to be so I just reread Twilight just for shits and giggles. It was on Kindle Unlimited. Um, and so I was like, "Oh, let me just" I can't watch the movie, but the first movie ever again in life. But I was like, "Let me read it." And honestly, the problem is that she wasn't really as awkward. And this isn't Kristen Stewart's part. This is the part of the director. She wasn't really as awkward as they made her seem. She was actually a lot more sarcastic and witty and a little bit, stronger. She was more awkward in like her body movements
Mm.
than anything. Like she was just like someone who would she was a little, more shy, more reserved, and someone who would just tumble over her own feet. But she would just like send it back to Edward all the time, which was hilarious. So the like "Mm, that part is bad. But you know what? Robert Pattinson wasn't that bad. I don't like the hair which created an entire movement in
It
male
did.
fashion.
It's so funny. I gotta look at it again now. It's so funny. I was literally about to because I was scrolling through trying to find something to watch, and then I guess the Twilight Saga is like available to watch, whatever. I'm like, do I do a rewatch? Because I'm doing a rewatch of a lot of stuff right now, and I
Mm.
haven't seen those in years.
I will always skip Twilight and then just watch New Moon, Eclipse, and the 2 Breaking Dawns. But
You
it
look
is
sick.
interesting. Fun fact though, Robert Pattinson was in Harry Potter. That was one of his first biggest roles. He was Cedric Diggory.
Yeah, yeah. My
Cedric.
love.
So, yeah, but I'm John Lithgow as Dumbledore isn't sold on me yet, but I am open to seeing more things. I love sneak peeks because when you get the sneak peeks, they listen to what it's very strategic. They put a
Mhm.
sneak peek out, they listen to how people are responding to it, and then they make changes based on that.
Yeah,
And so that part I love. So we'll see. All right, next topic is No Doubt is going to reunite for a Las Vegas residency.
that sounds kinda cool. I like No Doubt. Even I haven't, listened to probably their later stuff, but
Hmm.
I like them.
I I can't say I've ever listened to a full No Doubt album just because when they were big, I was too young to be listening to No Doubt. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I was growing up, it was more of just like a Gwen Stefani era.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but I love there are some No Doubt songs that I just stand by to the day I die. My brother my brother said that No Doubt is just like white reggae music.
I can hear that. I can totally hear
Yeah,
that.
like, and I can't unhear it now, but I am excited because, when bands break up, you're just like, "Oh, we're never gonna get" it hurts, like, your whole heart hurts.
Yeah, it does.
And then I like the fact that some bands are reuniting again and coming together again. Some I could live without, like B2K reuniting. I didn't need that.
Why not? Come on. Like, is this the era of, like, it's like the era after 90s R&B, like a good 2000s R&B. They're problematic just, like, as a group, but
Yeah.
as far as their music though, like, those are some hits.
I think my problem is that, like, when you're a early aughts heartthrob group and then you all grow up and you are no longer an early aughts heartthrob group. I mean, like, as it should be, you've grown up and you've aged or whatever. It is like because that was your thing. It is a little weird. And even for like even for NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, even though I feel a tad different about them, just because to me, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys are a little bit more iconic than B2K and a lot less problematic than
Yeah, they are,
B2K.
but
But
B2K,
they got a movie, so
yeah, yeah, and then, like, there's, like, so many B2K stans, like, there's so many people just love them, and me, I listen to the music. I wasn't, boy bands, especially like B2K, so they weren't my thing. So, but they had jams, they had like great singles. I would listen to them in the car. Barely knew their names. Only knew their names because of the stuff that the problematicness. But yeah, I would never go to a concert. But I would listen to. I still listen to jazz. I was listening to the other day. The other day I was listening to bump bump bump.
it's I don't know. Maybe it's like maybe it just hasn't reached the like so cringy it's good
Yeah.
part of it yet. Um, but like that but that's the difference though. Like groups like B2K were very their like time period was a very short limited time when we were
Hmm.
really into these groups. But groups like No Doubt are just fucking iconic.
Yeah.
And it's just like the genre to me a little bit is more long lasting. Um I mean, it's something that I tell people when they write books, right? I say, when you write a book, always think about like your use of slang or your use of words and everything like that, because you want
Hmm.
this book to be a long lasting book. You want it to be able to, for someone to read it in 20 years and be like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and I think that that's how I feel about No Doubt. And I'm also excited to get to see Gwen Stefani get out of her own cheesy era.
I haven't really heard much from her lately.
I
So
haven't heard much from her lately either. I think, she's just enjoying being married and a mother, and
yeah.
I mean, she's married to what, Blake Shelton now? She don't
Hmm.
neither of them need to work another day in their
Ever.
life.
They could just literally but I guess, music is their passion, that's what they wanna do, cool, but if I'm, 50 and tired and I don't wanna be on the road eating road food, but I guess they're rich enough to have and do whatever they want. Like, you could be on the road and be like, "I want filet mignon right now," and snap your fingers and it appears.
And then I think that's why these Las Vegas residencies that they've been doing, so Mariah Carey did one. I think that's why I think they're more beneficial because it's like the road comes to you, right? You're not on the road. They probably have like a temporary residence in Vegas, and each member will probably have their own house, or some might double up, and then their families can be there with them, and then
Yeah.
they perform, and you don't have to travel as much because people travel to Vegas. Like Vegas isn't. I know people live in Vegas. I know people who live in Vegas, but the whole like Vegas Strip is just a tourist area. So
Mhm.
it's a perfect way to be on tour without actually having to be on tour.
That's true. That's true. And Usher, oh gosh, Usher's residency was, like, epic, just epic, and I wanted to go see it because it's over now, right? I wanted to go see it so bad. Never got around to it. Like, the last shows and everything, I have friends who went, and I'm like, "Man," I just couldn't go at the time.
Mhm.
No, that's yeah, like, No Doubt, Usher, people in groups like that, those are iconic. Those are
Maroon 5 did one, and I was in Vegas during their residency, and I wanted to go, and I knew I had a friend who was one of the openers
you should have been
for
able
them.
to get in. Sneak me
Oh,
in.
that was a complicated situation.
Make it more complicated. Sneak me in.
I would've gone forward with it. I went there for my, best friend's wedding,
Mm-mm.
and it
One
just
of my
didn't
favorite
fit
movies.
in. Hmm?
Is it one of my favorite movies? My best friend's
Yeah.
wedding.
And it just didn't fit into the plans
Oh.
like we wanted it to, but that was okay. But yeah, Vegas residencies are they're to me, they're what's happening. I do love people coming on tour because then you don't have to travel all over the place to them, but it's
Mhm.
nice to when you make a trip to Vegas and then you're like, "Look who's, singing. We could buy tickets to go to them," and it makes the experience a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to Vegas in years, but I'm always trying to think of things to do there because 'cause I'm not a huge gambler.
I'm not either.
Yeah, and I don't wanna be out in the heat, really, so I,
Cabanas are the new thing. I mean, they're not the new thing, but you know what I mean.
yeah, that's a good idea, that's a good idea. Vegas is on my short list of, like, places to travel soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't been in a while.
I've been last year and I'm always more of a Vegas in the fall or winter type of person
Mhm.
because the heat mellows out a little bit. But I went in October and it was like 90 degrees. And I said,
Oof. Oof.
then went back home to 40-degree weather.
I will take the 40. I will take the 40 any day of the week. I went to Florida in June, this past June.
hmm
I will never, ever in my life go to Florida again in the spring or summer, and I swear by that.
Florida has the humidity.
Yeah, I just never again, never again. 'Cause I went to Universal, and I'm out there in the heat and in the sun and the humidity, and it made the experience less enjoyable.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I want to go to Florida in December. I've never been to Harry Potter Land, and I know that there's a real name, but it's really called Harry Potter Land. Um, And I've been wanting to go for my birthday for quite some time. It's not gonna happen this year, but maybe next year will be my stuck in humidity. But Florida, you're right. Florida is also better when it's cooler. And
Yeah.
there's less freaking beetles and all the bugs that are out during the spring,
Mhm.
summertime in Florida. They're disgusting.
Yeah, that's why I can never live in the South because the bugs are, like, crazy. They're
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
So I'm like, hard pass."
Blech. No. All right. Our next topic is that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have been spotted out for the first time in a while. There's been a lot of speculation in the last year because they announced that they were going to like separate their socials a little bit
Oh.
and they were going to start going to events on their own
Mhm.
and people were up in arms like, "Oh my gosh, Harry and Meghan Markle are getting a divorce and they don't like each other and he gave up the monarchy for nothing." Um, which was crazy because why can't a couple be allowed to have their own experiences
Right.
not together?
Yeah, I think that's super important. Like, I could never be with someone who doesn't have, like, their own set of friends, doesn't have their own things they like to do. Like, it's cool if you like to do things together, it's cool if you have things in common,
Yeah.
but have your own life. You had a life before me, you're gonna have a life, God forbid, after me, but have a life while we're together too. I'll be your everything, but I don't need to be your everything.
I feel the same way. I used to be different. I used to be like, "No, we should do everything together." And then it was stupid childhood like hubris. And then I grew up and I said, "No, I like my space." Like
Mm,
I have told people several times that I am open to having separate bedrooms. That doesn't mean we don't sleep together, but I am open to having separate bedrooms, right? Where
mhm.
I get to have my bedroom designed however the fuck I want to, and it can be set up however the fuck I want to, and you can have yours and set it up the same way. And I'm not going to bitch at you about how you keep your room, and you're not going to bitch at me about how I keep my room. And then we just sleep in whoever's room we feel like sleeping in that night.
Exactly. It makes it that much easier. Just, have your own stuff, your own thing, like, mine's yours and ours, like, it's easy.
Yes.
It's that easy.
Yes, I was talking to a friend recently and about finances and merging finances when you get engaged or when you're getting
Mhm.
married. And I said, I've always stood by, you definitely should have a joint account, but you should definitely also have
Mhm.
your own account.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah, it's tough though, it's tough, like, I agree, I agree, but it's tough when, like, a lot of I don't know, a lot of people in their relationships do want to make, like, decisions together, and when
Mhm,
it comes to, like, money is one of the reasons why a lot of money, family, sex, stuff the reasons why relationships fail or whatever.
mhm,
I believe that you should definitely have your own money, but I just know, I feel like in 90% of relationships, if you say you went and bought, like, a boat or something like that,
mhm.
your partner would be like, "What the heck are you doing? Why it was my money, I'm doing it," like, but I feel like they would get attacked or talked to from their partner if they spend their own money however they want to, but they shouldn't. They should be able to do whatever they want with their money.
I think that I get what you're saying. I think that there's like a caveat, right? Like you should be able to do whatever you want with your money, except when it comes to giant purchases, right? And this is a thing that I say everybody needs to do more of. And Meghan and Prince Harry probably have done a lot of these conversations themselves, but having a conversation about what's a big expense to you, like not a lot, not enough people are having conversations in their relationships about what their like standards and their rules and their boundaries and the things they will accept and don't want to accept, and even
Mhm.
finances. The friend I was talking about, she sat down and they had a full conversation about finances. And to me, that's important because then you could say, yeah, with our separate money, do whatever you want to do as long as what you're buying won't affect us as a whole in a significant way. Because if you get a boat, then you gotta dock the boat and you gotta pay for boat fees, and
Yeah,
then you gotta those things are a little different. To me, also the same thing with buying a $14,000 purse. Like let's pump a break and have a conversation. But if you want to buy yourself a PS5, you know what I mean? If you decided you wanted to like re-detail your car and get new seating, I don't give a shit about that.
but what
You
if it came out of your money?
now
What if it
that
came out like, what no, what if, like, whatever purchase you made came out of your money? So, your money, their money, and then our money.
mhm.
What if whatever you did came out of your money? It's like same
Think
thing with your own room.
yeah,
I do what I want in my room. You can't tell me what not to do with, with my room.
right. I think for me, this is just me personally. On the last episode, my friend Maya was there, and she was talking about like there's no normal, and you get to create your own what your normal looks like for you.
Mhm.
And on that, thought process, I think for me, there has to be a line about expenses because if you're overdoing, and then does that eventually leak into our money, and then like big life choices, because like I said, a boat is a big life choice,
That
it's not
is, yeah.
just. But outside of that, I really, like I said, I really don't care. I really don't give a shit if that's how you wanna spend your money, then that's how you wanna spend your money. Do what makes you happy, because I don't want anybody talking to me about spending my money on stickers for my journals. A shit ton of stickers for my journals, like, don't look at me if I came home with a new journal binder and you're like, "Ugh, another one?" Yeah, another one. Mind
Is
my
it
business.
this Amazon order for 5,020 stickers. Why did you buy 5,000 stickers?
I'm lit By the way, I'm literally fighting with myself right now to not buy a sticker pack for Halloween.
Do it.
I already have, like, I have these.
You got the autumn ones.
I do, not and then hold on. I got the autumn ones, and then I got, like, autumn-themed washi tape. So, yeah,
That is
that
cute.
that's where my expenses will go. So, mind your business about my expenses. But I think that it's really nice. The last post they probably made was them going to Beyonce concert or something.
Mhm.
But I do think it's really nice to see them out. I do hate how much controversy comes around their relationship in general.
Yeah, like, let them live. Just let them live. Let them like. I get that they're celebrities, and once you're a celebrity and in the spotlight, things are just naturally gonna change. But let
Mhm.
them live. Let them live. Like their lives are already upended, and they did that on their own. Now we got to do it. Well, not us, but society
Yeah,
and media has to do it to them too.
it's frustrating. I read, Prince Harry's book, Spare. Fucking phenomenal book,
Oh,
by the way. Fucking I listened to it on audiobook, and so he's narrating it, which adds a really beautiful personal touch. And just kind of hearing about how the monarchy and the media are so intermeshed. I get the desire to not wanna, partake in and play in a game where they're pitting family member against family member. So the family members are fighting each other for good press. And even his father would throw him under the bus so that the father's press was better.
that's not cool. Yeah, sending
But
all the love.
yeah, on our last gosh, our last topic is just so comical at this point, especially coming off of that, is Taylor Swift's new album came out. I am not a Taylor Swift fan.
I don't dislike her music. I just don't know much about. I know more of her older stuff. I don't.
Yeah. Her album is not getting high praise right now. I think it's still doing numbers, but I think it's doing numbers partly because people are like, I gotta hear this album that's not really good. It's not getting a lot of praise right now, and one of the songs that people are making fun of the most is a song called "Wood," that is a song about Travis Kelce's penis,
Wow. Well,
and she uses the word "dickmatized."
huh. Maybe she's just really trying to cross genres and like, do something new. Cause hey, I can't think of Taylor Swift doing that, but
Right, it's
maybe he wrote that for her.
maybe he wrote most her album, her rhyme scheme, from what I've heard and what I watched, is a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Rudimentary. Um, and even in this song, I think I watched a beautiful creator on TikTok, and they were describing it. And my addition to them, they're like, she's trying to change her image, and she can't break out of this, you have to change your image kind of in steps unless you're not really a big known artist. And I love Sabrina Carpenter, and you can tell that Sabrina Carpenter's music has been influenced by Taylor Swift, 'cause she's
Mm,
definitely gone a lot more kind of country pop. And then in her last 2 more recent albums, especially her last album, which was still good, but Sabrina Carpenter has always been a witty songwriter, um, very sardonic and sarcastic, and she's really good at double entendres and metaphors. And I think that Taylor Swift saw how well Sabrina Carpenter was doing in that sphere and was like, "Oh, this could be a cool place for me to play around with too." But the problem is that they have 2 totally different images.
they do. Totally different.
Sabrina Carpenter's marketing is A1. Whoever her team is, her, like, designer who set her up with the high blush kind of pinup doll look is really working for her image, and, she can branch out of that slowly, but Taylor Swift's image is a girl that likes to wear cardigans.
I still see her as like a more of a country girl. I like I said, I know more of her older stuff,
Mhm.
and I know her and just her watching her man at football games. That's all I really know. That's all I don't really know a whole lot. And then people just like kind of worshiping her, making bracelets and doing things for her concerts and things. I feel like she could literally just poop on a record and smear it around and it would be at number 1.
Because there are some people who are still like, "This is a banger," and I'm just like, "I know." And then I also think about, Travis Kelce, he talked about it because he has a podcast with his brother. He talked about it, and I guess he was light about it, but I'm gonna ask you this question as a man. If you had,
Mhm.
like, a girlfriend or a fiance, because 'cause they're fiancés now, and on her album, she made a song about your private area. Would you not be embarrassed?
Be embarrassed. I mean, if it's good, if it's a positive record, I'm like, I know you're impressed.
I if someone made a song called, like, Golden, and it was about my private area, like a golden pussy or whatever, let me tell you, I'm already blushing just thinking about how embarrassed I would be.
Why would you be embarrassed? Like, anytime it would come on, like, I'm in the car or whatever with my like, whoever, and it comes on, I'm
No!
like,
Your
"Yeah."
mom listen to that. Your mom is going to listen to
Well, not a
that.
family member, not a family member. And I would, like, I would turn it immediately, but if anybody else, I'm like, "Yep, that's about me." You see, that's going
So,
platinum right now.
I'd be so I mean, maybe it's I'm a little bit I've told people so many times that I don't wanna be famous, I wanna be well known,
Mhm.
which are 2 totally different things, right? When you're famous, you don't have any privacy. When you're well known, you have a lot more privacy. Um, I need private like, unless you and I are together and we're having a silly conversation about our sex life, please, please, please. I don't care if you are in love with it. I don't care if it's the best you've ever had in your life. Oh my gosh, please just don't.
It's just high praise. It's just high
You
praise.
can high praise me at home.
Wanna shout it from the rooftops, wanna shout it from
Apparently, I mean,
WJLB.
she said she's stigmatized, so
Yeah, well, see, she had no choice then, there's no choice in the matter.
it controlled it. All right, getting off of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's Wood, we're going to get into our Make It Make Sense of the week. Last week we talked about Bad Bunny um doing the Super Bowl halftime performance. And we talked about how a lot of more conservative people have a big problem with it. And me and my friend Maya, we were just joking about it. It's like, whatever. We were joking, we're serious about it's whatever. It's frustrating that, some media is reporting it as we want American performers. And there's like, oh my gosh, he's Puerto Rican, he is American. And then a report came out of how many halftime performers weren't American,
Mhm.
that everybody loved and weren't up in arms about. And the situation in itself is frustrating giving and I don't talk about politics and everything that much, but the situation itself is frustrating giving our current climate. But now they've taken it a step further and Turning Point, which is I guess a foundation that Charlie Kirk was a part of or founded or something, has made a decision that they're going to put on an alternative
I saw that.
halftime show.
Definitely saw that. I mean, they can go on and put on whatever they want. It doesn't matter. People are still gonna watch the halftime show. There's gonna be more coverage and memes and talk about actually, there's gonna be coverage and memes that talks about the other one too, and it's gonna get laughed about. But it's gonna
It's
be
going to be like Bad Bunny on the huge stage, and
yeah,
then, I don't know, some random country artist not being surrounded by anyone.
yeah. Who's the one dude who's always saying the N-word? I'm trying to remember his name.
Gosh.
It's the country guy. Ooh, Morgan Wallen is who I'm thinking
Yes,
of. He's gonna be on their show probably.
he legitimately, it is actually probably gonna be Morgan Wallen. Oh
That
my
would be
god.
hilarious. That would be insane and hilarious. Like, it would be fitting. It'd be like, "Okay, okay, y'all, are you serious? Y'all just taking a piss at this point."
It's to me, it's crazy because it's having Bad Bunny is the biggest global artist at this time, right?
Is he?
Like,
I
not
don't know
just
much about Bad Bunny.
oh my he is I don't listen to a lot of his music. I have heard, some of it. We were talking about how he's kind of like a mumble Spanish singer rapper. Um, but he's huge globally. Bad Bunny is huge. His album he made after I think he was dating Kendall Jenner.
Mm.
I think that's who he was dating. Hold on, let me check.
I'm gonna have to
Bad
look up
Bunny.
his stuff. I know I probably heard his songs. I couldn't even name one if I tried. People ask who is Bad Bunny and why is he so popular.
Yeah, they had an on again, off again relationship. Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny. And his album after that, there are so many people like this is the most tortured, broken soul.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check some of his stuff out. I know I've heard them. I just probably didn't know who the artist was.
Yeah. He's in a lot of hold on, let me see if I have any collabs with Bad Bunny. He does a lot of collabs with people. Bad Bunny. What do I have? Oh, I only have that one. That's probably just him, but there's probably stuff with him and with other people. But
Yeah.
he's a huge global artist. It's a it's a good business move for
Mhm.
him to be the halftime show performer because a halftime show performer is supposed to be about really big performers at this time or iconic,
Yeah.
performances. Although who performed last year?
Kendrick.
But yeah, what I mean, his Kendrick is not a live rapper performer to me. But his performance was still iconic. I still think about The Weeknd's performance. That was
It was hilarious because of the
oh my and
memes.
people were so upset and I was like, "Do you not get that The Weeknd is just making fun at fame?" Like he's like that's all he's doing is
Yeah.
poking fun at fame. It's it's like get over it. But the crazy part is for the Super Bowl halftime show, people who are not even American, people who probably don't give a crap about football are probably gonna turn in to see Bad Bunny perform.
They are, they totally are, like, I wanna see the halftime show, like, that's some people's reason for the Super Bowl is, "I don't care about the football, I don't care about these commercials, I just wanna see, J-Lo or The Weeknd or, Dr. Dre and Eminem. I wanna
Yeah.
see the halftime show."
What is people's, statement? "Oh, isn't it so cute that there's a football game happening before the
Yeah.
what Kendrick Lamar concert?" And I am a Super Bowl fanatic. I love the Super Bowl, and so it always irritated me. I was like, "No, it's about the game. It's not about the performer." Um, but it's again, it's a smart business move, and the frustrating part is that that's what, more conservative people say that they're all about, right? It's all
Mhm.
about a business move, it's all about strategy. But when someone makes a business move that they don't agree with, even if it's still a smart business move, then all of a sudden business doesn't matter.
Yeah, 'cause
Um,
it's not even about a business move at that point, it's about race, it's about sex, it's about a million other things. I can remember I was, it was awful. It's awkward conversation, it was when, I think it was J-Lo and Shakira did the Super Bowl,
mhm.
and one of the songs Shakira did was not in English, it was in Spanish, and then, like, the next day, it was, like, Monday, and I'm at work, and the older lady I was working with was like, "I didn't I hope she didn't listen to this. I didn't like the Super Bowl. Was she speaking Mexican? Why couldn't she speak English?" I'm like, I'm like, "Okay, well, 1, it's Spanish, and 2, I thought it was great." Uh,
She's Colombiana. Like what? First of all, I enjoyed Shakira's performance way more than I enjoyed J-Lo's performance.
yeah, yeah, it just
And
is.
interestingly enough, I noted that Shakira's dancers were more diverse than J-Lo's dancers were, which was
Ah,
quite interesting to me. But no, that's highly upsetting. Like, have you never heard a Shakira song in your life?
I feel like she probably hasn't. Like, I don't think she knew who she was. She's an older lady.
How the hell she know who J-Lo is? Oh, rom-coms. Never mind.
Rom-coms, yeah. I love The Wedding Planner. It's such a
Oh
good
my
movie.
gosh. It is such a good movie.
Do you only eat the brown M&Ms now?
No, I still think that the brown M&Ms are gross. It's just chocolate. Ah. But no, like that is what's really frustrating. It's interesting because, a lot of people forget that Rihanna, the singer, is not American.
Yeah.
She's from Barbados. That's not an like and those are the first you're only cool with Rihanna when she's making the music that you feel is American or American adjacent. But what are you gonna do when she makes her reggae album?
Not gonna support it because it's not America. It's gotta be America.
It's such a it's such a stupid concept. There was someone commented on the Basically Unbothered TikTok, and they said something about, because we were also talking about how they're now trying to make English the national language of the US. And she said, "Well, why shouldn't it be? Because we're a melting pot and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I need you to go back and look at, like, this is the part that frustrates me. I need everybody to go back and look at history and know and understand that that is the entire foundation of America. America's whole purpose, what they wanted to create technically was a melting pot. Now, the melting pot obviously was more like you could be German or you could be Irish or you could be French, you know? It was still very Eurocentric, but the idea, or Russian, but the idea was so that we were gonna be a melting pot. And then so that, like, that's frustrating that we're taking away our own as a country cultural beliefs to push an agenda, which is frustrating. But also,
It
let's
is.
be real. Our English isn't fucking English. English is English.
It is. We have American English. But it's funny we're
Yeah,
having this conversation the day after Indigenous Peoples Day.
it's fitting, but, like, our English is not, you can't make the national language in the US English when the national language in England is English because that's their
I mean,
sorry.
it doesn't make sense, and I don't think it never will make sense. Like, it's only a melting pot if it only includes the people who fit onto the yeah.
Which is
Otherwise, they don't belong here. That language doesn't belong here. That tone, that skin tone doesn't belong here. None of it belongs here.
and it's interesting because they feel that way, like, Spaniards get different treatment than Mexicans or Puerto Ricans, and that has a lot to do with the darker skin tone that Mexicans and Puerto Ricans sometimes have versus the Spanish or other, you know, Hispanic cultures in, like, Central America.
Yeah.
Um, which is, it's just we're, like, nitpicking at this point. It's stupid. Everybody should just go listen to Bad Bunny, watch I'm pretty sure the captions are gonna translate it for you in English so you can
We don't wanna
understand.
have to read.
Also, like, I listen to J-pop, I listen to K-pop, I listen to Spanish music, and I can promise you, you don't need to know what they're saying
Right, you
to
really
enjoy it.
don't.
Like, music is one of those things that transcends.
It's a universal language.
It is. So, STFU, and, like, 'cause it's perfect dance music. STFU, let us dance to Bad Bunny.
Mhm.
I wonder who he's gonna bring out. I'm hoping it'll be Selena Gomez.
Oh,
I feel like that would be a good,
so
like, the here
curious.
here you guys go, we got you Selena Gomez. She's like America's sweetheart.
No, bring out Morgan Wallen.
No. Alright. Getting into our last main topic, we're skipping talking about celebrities and the poor choices of America currently, and we're talking about you and the amazing choices of you,
Me?
because now you are a published author.
I am.
You are. You had your I guess a book release event, which I went to, which was amazing.
Thank you, thank you. It
I was
was
low key jelly. I was like, in the best way. I actually wrote a blog about it, about how jealousy is only meant to be used as a tool to let you know what's going on in your body and what you need to fix. And it was so cool to see how well put together your event was.
thank you. I had so much support and help from so many different people.
Mhm.
And what's wild is, like, I am the kind of person where I hate asking anybody for anything. Like, I don't wanna ask anybody for anything, even if I know they're gonna say yes, even if it's no big deal. Um, but people were just offering support, offering help, offering all of these things, and
Mhm.
all those, like, decorations and all this stuff that's like my friend does, like, event decor, and she comes from like a project management and all this other stuff. So she's just like on top of getting all this stuff ready and done and has all these checklists and things. So that was set up. And then had amazing people who were like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do the coffee. I'm going to do charcuterie boards," and they're this fantastic. Cannot thank them enough. I'm so grateful for all of this because they actually believed in the book too, which is like great. Um, and it makes you feel good when people believe in you more than you believe in you.
Yeah. And I think that that's so needed, especially when you get into the sphere of creating art, because artists are really hard on themselves,
Mm,
and you can't see your work objectively, and having people that believe in you and believe what you're writing helps you to kind of break out of that, like, negative mind space you might get yourself into sometimes.
yeah.
I think that's so important. I'm so excited to read your book. I actually One of my friends messaged me because she saw my video on Instagram, and she messaged me and she was like, "So how's the book so far?" And I was like, "I haven't got to it yet. I have 2 books ahead of it." And she's like, "I'm so excited. You have to tell me what you think. It sounds like such a incredible concept." And it's like, "Okay, I promise. As soon as I finish reading the book, I will call you."
Send them the link. Send everybody the link.
Hey, I told her I would send her the link, and I'm definitely gonna include your link in when all of this goes on socials or whatever. But taking a step back, I know that, we were talking about how you've done influencer and creator, and that might be possibly where a lot of people may or may not know you from. How did you get to the point where you sat down and was like, "All right, I'm gonna write a book?"
So that happened before all the creating started happening. That would have happened. The idea probably came up like maybe 3 years ago, and I started writing it 2.5 years ago.
Mhm,
And I just, come from film, so screenwriting has always been my thing. Always been
mhm,
screenwriting, always making scripts and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? This idea, this story is so much bigger and so much grander than what I can do in a screenplay at this time. Because when
mhm,
I don't know, I always subliminally like limit myself, subconsciously limit myself when I'm writing a screenplay. It's like, okay, can I make this? Because I don't have the budget.
mm,
Um, so most of my screenplays have been like, romantic comedies or rom-coms or horror or something like that. Something I could actually film and create. This
mhm.
book, and someone was talking about, they wanted to, "We should film this, we should make this," I
I
got
heard
people,
that.
yeah, and I'm like, "We would need an astronomical budget to make this happen because I don't want it to look terrible or cheesy or whatever."
Mhm,
But yeah, that's how it came about. Like, I love Detroit and I love the characters and the city and the grit and the magic. Like, I love Harry Potter. We're talking about Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I love, Rivers of London is a huge, inspiration to me too. That's one of my favorite series. The
mhm,
Dresden Files. I wanted to create something that I know for me is grounded in science and magic and
mhm.
grounded in Detroit. And that's how it kinda came about.
I think that that's so cool. I'm a huge sci-fi fantasy person. I do like when sci-fi and fantasy kind of meet. To me, that's always a really cool thing as well. Now, sci-fi fantasy budgets are high.
They're so high.
It's a very involved process.
Mhm.
And so I can understand looking at it and be like, all right, making this would be complicated, but it could be this. And the best thing about a book is you write the book pops off, next thing you know, Netflix is like, "Hey, we'll fund the movie." And then
That would be amazing.
you already have screenwriting, background, and then you go like,
Yeah.
"All right, cool. I can write the screenplay."
I would adapt this book in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I would adapt it because there's
I
this
feel the same way
it's
about my book.
yeah, see, and I still have to read your book. I still have not read your book.
It's okay. It's a long book.
When you gave it to me, I'm like, "Huh, this is a lot thicker than I thought it's gonna be."
It's I'm a bit of an overachiever. I am a bit of over but it was harder because I've been so afraid to say this for so long. But with Manacled and, other books coming out that first started off as fanfics, I was afraid because I worked really hard. My book is has a lot of Hunger Game elements to it,
Mhm.
but it also has some divergent elements and other things. But there are some things that are similar to the Hunger Games, and I was so nervous at first that someone would think that I was just parroting the Hunger Games, and I was also worried about the legal ramifications. But from what I've researched, especially now in this day and era, it's kind of hard. And also seeing that The Hunger Games was based off of another book that was based off of another book that was based off of a short story.
Mhm.
Um, it's a little different, but my book did start as a Hunger Games fan fiction. And I loved the fanfic that I wrote so much. And there were elements that I wanted to keep that felt Hunger Game like. So for instance, um she takes care of her family, and her father passed away, and the friendship that they have comes from people's fathers who have passed away, very similar to the Hunger Game. Um, sh she does, like, sign up to be with her brother, but it's more I borrowed a lot from more my military experience. And so instead of it being you get reaped just to play in this game, it's you're getting drafted to be in a war. And it's a lot more whereas the Hunger Game is kind of like undertones political, it's a lot more overtone political.
Oh.
And but it's I it got into a world of its own when I started like writing and taking pieces and then being like, how can I create this own world that I love. When I finished, I was shocked at how many pages I had.
I was gonna ask, like, how did you find the time? Like, 'cause like, having to work and do all and life, how did you find the time to write all of that?
I was a lot less busy than I am now. For sure, I was a lot less busy. I would write at night. So I wasn't reading as many books as I am now, which is the hard part.
Mhm.
And I wasn't working in like right now I work at a bar. And I chose to work at a bar so that I could have more time to do things like this instead of working a 9 to 5, which wouldn't give me the time because we're recording in the middle, you know what I mean? But I would write at night a lot. It was just really like before I was doing my bedtime read, I would sit down. Sometimes it'd be for an hour, sometimes it'd be for 15 minutes. And I was very committed to writing at night. And now my writing process is different, but for the first one, that's for the most part how I did it. And then I stopped writing it for a month or so. And I am a person that has to be re-immersed in the world. So I have to reread my work and then I can jump right back in
Ah.
to where I was at. So I took a break and then I reread it and I had like a fire lit under me and then I finished it all like crazy. And the fire was so lit under me, I finished it. Was like, huh. My mom said, "Who do you think is going to read that many pages?" And then I went right into writing the second book. But as you know, it's complicated. What was the writing process like for you?
For me, it was, I was working a 9 to 5, and it was just really, really tough to find the time.
Mhm.
But I was having it brought me so much joy bringing it, like, during, like, so many tough times and kind of tough years and everything. It was something that brought me joy,
Mhm.
and it focuses me, it calms me down, and I needed to get those character stories out, so I would go to cafes whenever I had the chance. Go to cafe 'cause I have so many distractions at home, and it's so comfortable. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna write some. Nope, I'm gonna watch Dawson's Creek." So I just yeah, rewatching that
Yes.
right now. Um, but so I had to get out of the house and, get into the book. So it was a lot of writing at cafes. It was a lot of, when I went on vacation and everything, I would take my laptop with me to write. Um, and it was beautiful 'cause, like, my brain is all over the place. I feel like I probably have ADHD. My brain was all over the place.
I definitely do.
It's rough. Like, I have note cards and sticky notes, like index cards, little small index cards are all different colors, and then the sticky notes. I have
Mhm.
so many different ideas and things written on all of those, and I have stuff in my notes app.
Mhm.
So I have ideas and stuff. It's already mapped out and planned out to book 4, and
Mhm.
then after book 3 was actually a young adult spinoff coming out, which I can't wait to write because I'm already in love
That'll
with
be
those
so cool.
characters. Hmm?
Mhm. I said, "That's so cool."
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. That's why I wish I didn't have to go out and work and do things, because then I could just write.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel I'm also in a 4-book series. I have book 2 comes out December. Um, I was actually my proof copy is somewhere around here.
I saw your video
Uh,
about it, yes.
yeah. Um, and right now I'm getting my art team, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I have 4 books. Book 3 is also halfway written. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but book 3 happened solely because of Ariana Grande's album,
Really?
Maternal Sunshine. Yeah. I was listening, like, woke up super early, not super early, but, like, I woke up, got to Target as soon as it opened, um, and ran and got her album on vinyl, and I my first listen was to it on vinyl, and there was a song, "Imperfect for You," and it just felt like my characters, my 2 main characters so much, and then I just sat down and I couldn't even tell you how much I wrote just from that. I also am a sticky note person as well. That's why I have my journal. I don't have my old journal, but my old journal literally has this is like my notes part,
Yeah.
right? And so I also have parts of my journals that'll be like sticky notes. And it's just where I put all my sticky notes and thoughts.
You're so organized.
It's
I
I
wish.
have to be. I learned a long time ago how that when you're neurodivergent, when you have ADD or ADHD, you cannot keep trying to put yourself in this box or, the way that other people's brains work. You have to like hijack your brain. And so for me, organization is a way that I can hijack my brain a little bit. And it's disorganized organization, right? Because in this journal is random doodles, um, junk journaling. In my old journal, I have like stuff from me from a concert. I also, just to show you, have a Donnie's event page.
Oh, look at this. I love that.
So it's like organized chaos. So I take everything and then I like this is my morning stuff that I have in the morning. And then you'll see like a sticker page and then it'll just be journaling. And then there are updates on like my brother. And then I just a random, dog someone gave me. So it's organized chaos because I need a place, like I need the organization. But if I just have something that's for organization,
Mhm.
my brain won't do it. So it also has to be fun.
I need to do something like that too. Mine is just chaos. It's just chaos, and that was supposed to be my goal. Knock on wood, it is still my goal this year, is to be more
Mhm.
organized. I have a huge goal for each year. This year was supposed to be more organized, um, maybe slightly.
I will say that I've been like it's a blessing and it's not a blessing. I am very good at organization. Um, it's a blessing because I get to be a little bit more of an organized artist.
Mhm.
It doesn't always work. Like to be fair, there's so many things that have failed. You do not to get to this journal place, you do not want to know how many planners and gratitude journals and to-do lists and everything that I've bought that just failed, and there's, like, the thought that failure is okay. Failure teaches you something, and for
Failure is
me,
the best teacher.
it is, and for me, every time I failed at trying to organize myself another way, I got closer to getting to a way that works best for me, and
I
it
need
it
to.
doesn't look like, it doesn't look the same for everybody else, but for me, one of the biggest things is making my notes pretty. That's how I hijack my brain. Like, it has to be pretty, it has to be aesthetic, I gotta have my stickers. That's a way for me to be excited about it. Uh, but I mean, that's, the same way for, like, your writing process and how you were talking about for you, you had to go to cafes and kind of create a space where you were just sitting down to write.
Yeah, space without distractions.
Mhm.
Because at home, it's just really, really tough. And I every Wednesday I consider Wednesday, and I got this from a friend too, writing Wednesday. So no
Mhm,
matter what, I dedicate a good chunk of time to writing on Wednesdays.
mhm.
Um, and that's helped. That has helped a lot. But I just wish I need to incorporate it more every day. Like even if I'm writing a page a day, even if I'm writing half a page a day, something.
But you know what? It's always about starting small, right? Like, I always tell people, don't we're so caught up in this, and I am too, right? I'm so caught up in this, you gotta be on it, you gotta be doing things every
Hmm.
day, that you don't realize that it's actually the small things. So, like, you doing Writing Wednesday is an there's so many people who can't do that. I always tell people, when you're comparing yourself, compare down and compare up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't always compare, like, oh, all these people are writing every day a week. That's never going to benefit you. Sometimes you got to be like, there are people who aren't writing at all.
Yeah.
Having, like right now for my fitness journey, I had to refocus it since my surgery, and having, and, all of my mental stuff. And so for me, it kind of started with just doing something that I enjoy, which is bike riding. So, it was just going on a bike ride every day, and then that transformed, and then that wasn't happening as much, and then for a little bit, it was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do yoga or just do stretching," and then do stretching turned into doing yoga, and that turned into, "Alright, I'm gonna do yoga committed 5 days a week." And then I got into that, and I was like, "Alright, I wanna add a little Pilates." And now it's, "Okay, I'm gonna do yoga 5 days a week, I'm doing Pilates 3 days a week," and I'm not in control of it anymore. I have the Apple Fitness thing that does that all for me, so I don't have to. But it's you always start small and get comfortable there, and then you don't have to go from Wednesday to every day. You can go from Wednesday to Monday and Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and
That's true.
then build upon that. Because when you start putting, like, pressure on your writing, and that's kinda where I'm at right now, it's harder to write.
Facts. Those are big facts. Like there's already so much pressure that the world puts on us, and we put it on ourselves. It makes it almost impossible to move sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that part sucks. And I wanted to ask you too. So I've listened to bits like snippets of like you read your book like you're I'm a huge audiobook person.
Mhm.
So do you plan on putting yours on Audible or anything like that? Because I signed up for the whole ACX thing or whatever it's called, and I've been
Mhm.
receiving everybody keeps telling me to narrate the book myself. I don't feel like it. Like, I just really don't feel like it. But they're like, "No, you got the voice. You do it. Just please, you gotta do it. You gotta narrate it." Considering it, but however much I can outsource. So I've been getting auditions, and it's been the
Mhm.
most fun listening to these auditions because it's like people reading the work, like reading a snippet, your excerpt, and hearing their interpretations. It has just been hilarious, fun, interesting, and exciting listening to that. So it's have you considered putting yours on Audible?
So the funny part is that it started because I was going to try to record Olympic War as an audiobook. Um, and then it was just there's so many pages, and it's just so much, and I don't have the time. And I can't, no matter what I do, I can't hack my neurodivergence to sit down and read my book and edit it. I just can't. The audiobook podcast is actually really hard for me. That's why I try to keep it, like, it's about 10 minutes, so I don't even finish a chapter all the time,
Mhm.
because that's about as far as I can go with my attention span of reading the book and sitting and being that hyper focused on it. Because I can't, like, when I'm writing, I'm diving into it and everything else disappears, and when I'm doing the audiobook, I don't have that same experience. And it's also doing other character voices is hard.
It is. It's so
You
hard.
now. Like, you can't just read your book.
No.
Back in the day, you could kinda just there were some people who were doing different voices, but there were also people who are just reading.
Yeah,
Um, I would, if I had the finances, when I have the finances,
that's right,
I'm
when.
gonna pay somebody else to do it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where I'm at.
It's easier, and then not only is it easier, but, you always have to think about, like, cross promoting, right? So, when you get another voice actor or audiobook actor to read your books, you're bringing in their, like, network too,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, unless they don't have a network,
Unless they don't have it.
because 'Cause I've
Yes,
gotten
yes.
auditions from so many people. It's weird, they, like, a few come in every hour. So it's
Is
so much
it
fun.
are you like, how much are they asking to be paid? Is it, like, by page or
Yeah, so it's um, per hour. It's like per what is it called? Per something hour. So if
Mhm,
it's like an 8-hour book, there's tiers you can select when you're setting it up on ACX. So it's like
mhm.
the lower tier, you might get people don't have as much experience or the right equipment or whatever. Mid tier, high tier, so on and so forth. I picked a mid tier because like $200 to $400 per finished hour, I think it is. And I wish would have just known because like a lot of the times they'll submit the audition, but they'll also have their rate. And some people will like $50 to $100 per finished hour, but you already stuck yourself into the tier where they're gonna expect more, which sucks. Um, yeah, but it's just interesting and fun to see people's like interpretations of what you read. And
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Some people are like horrible, and you can tell they don't have the right equipment. And some people are like, "Oh my gosh, that person is pretty good. I'm gonna favorite that one."
yeah. That sounds I actually never heard of ACX, so that sounds fascinating. I'm going to have to look it up.
It takes
Um,
15 minutes. You can put a thing on there, and then people can start auditioning. You don't even have to follow through with it. Like, but there's tons of gig workers out there who just want to do it and just want to, oh, this looks like interesting material. And they read it and they're like, oh my gosh, it's really cool. Love to work with you on your project. Here's your project. Here's my audition.
that's so cool. I'm definitely gonna have to look into it. Right now, I'm kinda having that process with ARC readers.
Mm.
So I'm accepting offers for ARC readers right now, um, for Phoenix War. You know what ARC readers are.
Um, Vaguely put it together with context clues in my head. Like
It's
they're reading
so
your,
ARC they're called, like, advanced reader copy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they're the people that you give the advanced part of your book, so hopefully when your book comes out, it comes out with reviews. So that's my big hurdle right now. A lot of people take it way too far. To me personally, to me, I'm like, if you want to read my book and you're not gonna, there's platforms, there's Book Funnel, which you can give out advanced reader copies to, and you don't have to worry about people pirating your book and everything because that's the thing you have to worry about now. Book Funnel's amazing.
Funnel. The one
Book
time
Funnel's
I don't
amazing.
have sticky notes or anything around me. I got my computer in front of me.
um, but a lot of people now want you to give them all of your social medias and where do you normally review and write what kind of books you normally like to read. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. If you want to read my book, that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
If you want to read my book and you're going to finish and you're going to do a review, that's what I care about. I don't need the audition part of it. If you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, read this book, I'm just like, fuck it. But that is one of the things I love about being an indie author is you get to make your own rules.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And now I can't wait to look into book. So how does that work? Like you
I have a bigger account because I sell ebooks on my indie author bookstore.
yeah.
So I have like ones where I can have a whole bunch of different people's different authors' books. But basically, you upload your video. I mean, you upload your digital copy of your book, and then because it's on Kindle, and you have to be a little careful with this because if your book is on Kindle Unlimited, then they have different rules. Like you can't sell it anywhere else. But basically, you could, for instance, your website, you could sell it on your website and then have a workflow that once they buy it, it takes them to BookFunnel to download it.
Mhm.
And then when they download it, you can put like digital stamps and everything like that to help protect. It's CRM, but I can't remember what it stands for. But it helps to protect the integrity of your book so that it's only going to this one person and they can't go send it to somebody else because when you send
Yeah.
someone the PDF of it, they could send it to however many people they want.
Mhm.
So it's all about protection in that sense.
Okay, like that.
Um, but it's really cool. I think my last question as we round up to get ready to go is is about being an indie author, and kind of why did you choose that route? Because, I know a lot of people might be listening to this and be fascinated about the writing process and everything and the difference between going indie and getting published by bigger publishing company. So why did you choose the indie author route?
I chose that route because it just I tried to find like a literary agent, and
Mhm,
someone and an actual publisher and everything, and the process was just taking a long time.
mhm,
And it's more than just submitting it to people. You have to find the right people to submit it to, because a lot
mhm,
of literary agents are very niche, and like they have like this is the kind of books they want to represent. This is the kind of books they want to read. Um, and I feel like right now there's a whole lot of them that just aren't into what I write, which is fine. It's just a lot of work trying to find the right one. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to put my energy into that. I want to put my energy into getting my work out there. I want my book in people's hands. I want people to read this. I want people to experience this.
mhm.
So and then I read a whole lot about self-publishing, and a lot of people who self-publish who are very successful.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what did it for me. I was ready to get on to the next step, on to the next book, not spending time shucking and jiving to get people to publish my book.
Honestly, I agree with you. I've watched a lot of TikToks about the process of it, and even say you get a literary agent, you get into a publishing house, you could wait a year or more for your book to come out
Hmm.
because they have a full long list of books that they want to promote first. And so your book that was written will be sitting and waiting a long time for it to come out. And you don't have as much control. You do lose the ability to say what you want to say and how you want to say it.
Hmm.
And another hard thing is, it's a topic that's talked about a lot. Being an author that's a person of color, it's harder to get your books out there and everything like that,
Yeah, it
and to
is.
get accepted into these publishing houses.
That's like the messed up part. It's like, yeah, you try and do everything, like by the book and try and find like you choose you go through the path you've seen on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. This is what you got to do A, B, and C, and it doesn't work. And because A, B, and C all have like sub things under them, what you have to do. It's just a
Yeah.
lot. It's just a lot.
It is. And I think that's, again, piggybacking off of the topic that we had last week about creating your own life, being an indie author, you do get to create your own life. And there are people who are really successful. And I've told people I want to be like the Macklemore or the Russ of, the indie author world. I want to show people that you don't have to sign these huge contracts that you're giving your life away or giving your music or giving your art away to make it. I'm not there yet. Um I'm still my biggest struggle is still getting people to read my book. Um which is I will say as an indie publisher, that is the hardest struggle,
Hmm.
and it's one of the reasons why I have invested a lot of time in creating a social media presence, especially on TikTok, because nowadays people don't buy your book because they wanna read it, but people buy your book because of you.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
the brand.
And I'm trying to get to where you're at because, I make content every day and I post stuff. That's my job, but it's a
Mhm,
whole lot more difficult talking about yourself and talking about what you do than it is for someone else, someone's restaurant, someone's brand, someone's item. It's so much more difficult. That's why I haven't put out as many. I haven't done a reel at all for Motor City Magic,
mhm.
which I need to do, especially now that it's out. But I
You
just
do.
it's hard to like because you're really putting yourself out there.
I hate it. I hate love it. Um, I always felt like I was born to be a reality TV star.
I can see
If
you
you
on reality TV.
I think I would be a really good reality TV star.
Yeah.
I'm very energetic, I'm very blunt and honest, but I'm empathetic, I don't know. So I always try to imagine it that way. It's so hard, and it's the more difficult part is, when you make a video and you work really hard for someone else and it doesn't get a lot of likes, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
When you do it for yourself, it feels like people don't like you.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is incredibly more difficult.
Yeah.
it's I appreciate it. You know, a lot of people make fun of me or make comments like, "And you just put all of your life out on social media," which I don't. If any like, if you actually look at my social media, there's 1,000 things I could say or share, and there's a lot of things that I haven't shared.
Mhm,
I was listening to Jay Shetty's podcast, and he had a guest on, and they said, once you realize that social media is your choice, you are more willing to share things because you don't feel like you have to share it. You only share what you feel comfortable sharing. But it is incredibly hard. It's beautiful. You know, sometimes when I share my story and people send me messages or comments like this really helped me or I'm in this journey with you, that is really beautiful, but it is hard. It's not fun. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not, but you have to. I've also myself, I've been having a journey with not promoting my books as much as I used to, and I'm trying to get back into putting myself out there because
mhm.
it is hard.
Yeah, it's so hard, but then you see so much success from indie authors who do put themselves out there. It's just believing in yourself as much as everyone else believes in you. Yeah, it's
Yes.
just gotta do it.
And you already have such an amazing following. And I think people will respond really well. I think people will surprise you at how well they will respond. I mean, I made one little reel in TikTok that got like 30 likes, and I've already got friends messaging me about your books. So like imagine if you know what I mean?
That's true, yeah. That's good. I plan on doing it today, like, I say if I have time. I have time, just go ahead and do it, just do it. I have time, I plan on putting a reel up today, um, 'cause I do want it out there. Yeah, I do want it out there, and, need to promote it. There's something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember what it was. Can't remember what it was.
It's okay. It's the neurodivergent life. Welcome. We just forget everything that we ever want to say. Yep, completely gone. On that note, though, unless you remembered,
No, I do not
okay,
remember.
we're gonna we're gonna close. Thank you, Donnie. Give a shout out to all your socials and your book and everything, so people know where to find you, to follow you, and to buy your book.
So thanks everybody for listening. I am Donnie. I am Donnie LB. That's DONNYLB on all your favorite social networks. That's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, even. Donnie LB. I'm your favorite writer, author, foodie, lifestyle influencer guy who is hopefully going to be your favorite author. Yeah. So, yeah. Or second favorite author.
No, you can call me. I do not need to be everybody's favorite author. That's another thing that I've learned about this journey is that like the people that are meant to find you are gonna find you. The people that aren't meant to read your book aren't read your book, and that's totally okay. Like some of y'all shouldn't read my book. I'm gonna be honest. Some of y'all are gonna read my book, or you're gonna be like, "What is this feminist piece of art?" And I'm gonna be like, "Thank you."
I need to like figure out a way to because I have the ebook as well. Um,
Mhm.
like have it read it for me because I love audiobooks.
Yeah, I am also audiobook thing. That's what my mom said. She said when I get, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. I got a great idea. We're gonna trick my mom into paying for the audiobook.
Yes, yes.
This this is a great plan. Alright, other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Pure Tifa Podcast.